You have refreshed the analytics page 47 times today. Not exaggerating. 47. You have the phone in your hand right now, and you know exactly what the numbers say because they have said the same thing for 6 days. And you have checked them so many times that the refresh motion has become involuntary, like breathing, like blinking, like the specific compulsive behavior of someone who is 3 subscribers away from the thing they have been working toward for 8 months. 997 subscribers, 3,941 watch hours. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. To monetize, to go from a person who makes YouTube videos to a person who makes YouTube videos and gets paid for it, which are the same activity and completely different identities. You are 3 subscribers away. You have been 3 subscribers away since Tuesday. It is now Sunday. Tuesday to Sunday is 5 days of refreshing and almost there and checking and trying not to check and checking anyway. And then at 11:23 a.m. on a Sunday morning, while you are sitting on your bedroom floor eating cereal directly from the box because you ran out of clean bowls and doing laundry felt less urgent than checking analytics, your phone does something it has never done before. It shows you an email from YouTube, and the subject line says, "Congratulations." You open the email. Your hands are, and you notice this with a kind of detached interest, the way you notice things when your nervous system is doing something unusual. Your hands are shaking, not violently, just with a fine tremor that you cannot stop and do not try to stop, because what you are reading is too important to be interrupted by the management of your own hands. The email says, "Your channel has met the threshold for the YouTube Partner Program. You are now eligible to apply for monetization." You read it twice, then a third time. Not because it is unclear, it is perfectly clear, but because your brain is doing the thing it does with information that it has been anticipating for a long time, which is to keep checking the information against itself to make sure it is real and has not changed between readings. It has not changed. It is real. You open YouTube Studio. The subscriber count reads 1,003. In the time it took you to read the email 3 times, 3 more people subscribed. The watch hours read 4,011. The numbers that have been close for 6 days have crossed the line while you were sitting on your bedroom floor eating cereal from the box. 8 months ago, you had 0 subscribers and a phone propped on a stack of books and a ring light that was too far away and a feeling you could not fully articulate about stories you wanted to tell. Today, you have 1,003 people who chose to be part of whatever this is. You sit on the floor of your bedroom for a long moment. The cereal box is still in your hand. You look at it. You put it down. Then you pick up your phone and you call Dan. Dan answers on the third ring. His voice has the texture of someone who went to sleep 2 hours ago and is not yet fully back from wherever sleep took him. He says, "Just that. Just low. Not even the H. You say I'm monetized." There is a silence of approximately 2 seconds. Then Dan says, and his voice has changed completely. The sleep gone, the H fully restored, and then some what? You say, "YouTube Partner Program." I just got the email. 1,003 subscribers and 4,011 watch hours. Dan makes a sound. It is difficult to describe the sound Dan makes. It is somewhere between a cheer and a word, and something that has no category in human language but communicates with complete precision the feeling of watching your best friend achieve something they have been working toward for 8 months, while you watched every single video and left every comment and refreshed their analytics almost as many times as they did, because their dream became somehow also your dream in the way that the dreams of people you love tend to do. He says, "I knew it. I said it was going to happen before the end of the month, and it is the 14th, and I was right." You say, "You said that about last month, too." He says, "I was directionally right. The month was wrong, but the confidence was correct. And confidence is the important part." You laugh. The laugh of someone who has been holding their breath for 6 days and has finally completely exhaled. Dan says, "Okay, we are celebrating tonight. I don't want to hear that you have videos to edit or thumbnails to make or any of that. Tonight, we celebrate. Tomorrow, you go back to being a YouTuber. Tonight, you are a person who just got monetized. and that deserves a dinner that is significantly better than whatever you have been eating this week. You look at the cereal box on the floor. You say, dinner sounds good. Dan says, I already know where we're going. Get dressed. Also, clean your room. I can tell from your voice that your room needs cleaning. You look at your room. Your room needs cleaning. You say, see you at 7. You call your mom at 11:47 a.m. She answers on the first ring. Your mom always answers on the first ring when you call on a Sunday morning because Sunday morning calls mean something is happening and she has been available for every something that has happened in your life and she is not about to change that now. She says, good morning. Are you okay? You say, I'm more than okay. Mom, I got monetized. A pause. Then, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean what I think it means? You say, it means YouTube is going to pay me for my videos. Another pause. Longer this time. You can hear her putting something down, a mug, probably the ceramic sound of a mug being set on a kitchen counter. Then she says, I knew it. I told your father last week. I said it's going to happen soon. I can feel it. You say, you told Dad? She says, I tell your father everything. He watched your last video, by the way. He said the lighting has improved significantly from the early ones. Your dad has watched your videos. Your dad, who does not own a smartphone by choice and watches the evening news on a television that is older than your YouTube channel, and who you were fairly certain did not know what YouTube was in any operational sense, your dad has been watching your videos. You say, Dad watches my videos? Your mom says, every single one, on my iPad. I set it up for him. He watches them in the evening after dinner. He does not comment because he does not know how to comment, but he watches them. You sit with this information for a moment. Your dad, watching your videos on your mom's iPad after dinner every week for 8 months, never saying anything about it, just watching. You say, why didn't he tell me? Your mom says, you know your father. He shows up. He does not always announce that he is showing up. He just shows up. You think about your dad watching your videos on an iPad he does not own in the evenings after dinner. You think about him seeing the first video with the books as a tripod and the lighting that was too far away. You think about him watching you figure it out week by week, video by video, without you knowing he was there. You say, tell him thank you. Your mom says, tell him yourself. He's right here. He's been standing in the kitchen since I answered the phone, pretending to look for something in the refrigerator. There is the sound of movement, then your dad's voice. Not on the phone, from slightly further away, the way your dad talks, as if phones are a medium he respects but does not fully trust. Tell them I said congratulations and the new thumbnail style is better than the old one. You laugh so hard you have to sit down. Your mom says, come for dinner next Sunday. I want to hear everything. You say, I'll be there. Here is what nobody tells you about being eligible for monetization. Eligible does not mean monetized. Eligible means you can apply, and applying means waiting. Again, you open the YouTube Partner Program application at 12:15 p.m. on Sunday. The process requires you to set up a Google AdSense account, agree to the YouTube monetization policies, and then submit your channel for review. The review process takes, according to YouTube, up to 1 month. 1 month. You have been 3 subscribers away from eligibility for 6 days, and now you are 1 month away from actual monetization, and the universe you reflect has a very specific sense of humor. You complete the application anyway. Every step, carefully, correctly, the way you approach everything on this channel, with the specific attention of someone who knows that the details matter, and that getting a detail wrong now means waiting longer, and waiting longer is not something you are willing to do if thoroughness can prevent it. You submit the application at 12:47 p.m. YouTube sends you a confirmation email that says, your application is under review. We will notify you of our decision within 1 month. You put your phone down. You look at the ceiling. Then you pick your phone back up and open YouTube Studio and check the subscriber count. 1009, 6 more subscribers since the email. The algorithm has noticed something. Maybe the small surge that happens when channels hit milestones. Maybe coincidence. Maybe the specific magic of a thing beginning to be seen. You put the phone down again. This time you leave it down. You go do your laundry. The laundry has been waiting longer than the monetization. And unlike the monetization, it cannot review itself. Dan picks a restaurant that is significantly better than the ones you usually go to. Not extravagant. Dan is not extravagant with other people's money, and this dinner is his treat. He announced this on the phone and did not accept argument, but genuinely good. The kind of place with a menu that takes 2 minutes to read properly and bread that arrives without you having to ask for it. You sit across from Dan and you order, and the bread arrives, and for a moment you just sit there with the bread and the restaurant and the Sunday evening and the very specific feeling of a day that contains something you have been working toward for a long time. Dan says, "Tell me honestly, how close did you come to quitting?" You think about this. The honest answer requires a moment. You say, "Week 11, the video got 22 views in 4 days, and I sat on my bedroom floor and I genuinely thought about just stopping, deleting the whole thing, pretending it never happened." Dan says, "I remember week 11. You texted me at 1 a.m. You say you called me back immediately." Dan says, "Of course I called you back immediately. You texted me at 1 a.m. That is a call back immediately text, no matter what it says." You say you talked to me for 2 hours. I talked to you for 2 hours because you needed 2 hours. And because the video you made that week was actually really good. And 22 views was the algorithm being wrong, not the video being wrong. And I needed you to understand the difference. You look at Dan across the table, your best friend who has watched 34 videos and left 34 comments and called you back at 1 a.m. and announced this dinner and ordered too much food, and who has been, without ever making it about himself, a consistent, reliable, completely essential part of why you are sitting in this restaurant tonight instead of having deleted the whole thing in week 11. You say thank you. Actually, for all of it. Dan says, "Don't make it weird. Eat the bread." You eat the bread. It is very good bread. You make a mental note that good bread at the right moment might be one of the finest things available to a person. And you'll think about this later when you are back to being a YouTuber who edits thumbnails and checks analytics. But right now, you just eat the bread and let the day be what it is. The approval comes 17 days later, not a month, 17 days. You are in the middle of editing your 36th video when the notification drops. You see it peripherally, the yellow envelope icon, the YouTube logo, the first word of the subject line, which is again, congratulations, and your editing software sits open and untouched for 4 minutes while you read the email 3 times. Your application to the YouTube Partner Program has been approved. Monetization has been enabled on your channel. You can now earn revenue from ads on your videos. You open YouTube Studio. Every video you have ever made now has a small green icon next to it, a $sign. Simple, functional, completely transformative in what it means. Your videos are worth something. Not worth something in the way they have always been worth something. The comment from the person who made their own channel, the message from the teenager who said your video made them feel less alone, the moment Dan called you back at 1 a.m. Those things were always worth something and always will be. Worth something in a new way. In the way that the world officially acknowledges effort with money. Small money at first. The first month's payment will be approximately $12, which you know because you have read enough about YouTube monetization to understand that small channels earn small amounts. And that is fine. That's how it starts. That is chapter 4 of a story that has many chapters. $12. You text Dan, approved. Dan responds in 6 seconds, "I knew it." You call your mom. She answers on the first ring. You hear her call to your dad before you have said a single word. It's approved. Then your dad's voice from the background, further away from the direction of the refrigerator he is always pretending to look in. "Tell them I said well done." You say, "Tell him I heard him." Your mom says, "He's smiling." He won't say so, but he's smiling. 1,009 subscribers. 4,011 watch hours. One best friend who called back at 1 a.m. Two parents watching on an iPad after dinner without ever announcing they were there. One approval email. $12. That is the whole story so far. That is everything it took and everything it produced. And both of those things are true simultaneously. It took a lot and it produced something real. And neither cancels out the other. Here is what I want you to know. The thing that the monetization dashboard does not tell you and the approval email does not say. The $12 is not the achievement. The $12 is the receipt, the proof of purchase, the official acknowledgement from a very large company that what you have been doing for 8 months has value in the most legible language the world knows, money. But the achievement happened long before the receipt. The achievement happened in week 11 when you almost quit and you texted someone at 1 a.m. instead. The achievement happened in the 36 Saturday mornings when you filmed instead of sleeping in. It happened in the 4 hours of editing every week that nobody sees, but everybody benefits from. It happened every single time you uploaded something imperfect and did it anyway, because done is the only version that exists in the world, and perfect only exists on your hard drive. The monetization did not make you a creator. You were a creator in week 1 with 23 views and a phone on a stack of books. The monetization just made it official. And here's the thing about official. Official matters. Not because you needed permission. You never needed permission. But because official means the work is now in a system that rewards consistency. And you have been consistent. For 8 months, through week 11, and the 22 view videos, and the 1 a.m. texts, and the cereal from the box, and the analytics refreshed 47 times, you have been consistent. And consistency, not talent, not luck, not the algorithm, not a viral video, not a famous friend sharing your content. Consistency is the only thing that always eventually works. You kept showing up. The channel kept growing. The threshold got closer. The email came. That is the formula. There is no secret beyond it. Show up. Keep going. Let the work accumulate. And call your best friend back when they text you at 1 a.m. That part matters more than the algorithm. If you are on this journey, if you are in week 3 or week 11 or week 36, or you have not started yet, drop your subscriber count in the comments right now. Whatever it is, 0 counts. 0 is where everyone started, because the comment section of this video is going to be a map of where everyone is on this road. And someone reading it at 1 a.m. who almost quit tonight is going to see your number and keep going. Subscribe to Borrowed Lives. Every week, a different life. Every week, proof that showing up works. See you in the next Borrowed Life.